Welcome to the Amateurs Podcast with your hosts, Peaches and Cream.
What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another podcast episode. I'm here by myself today. Taters is missing. Well, he's not missing. He's just coaching high school basketball at the moment, so um, he'll not be joining us today. Wish him luck at his game. Got a good one for you today. We're going to be discussing briefly about the Super Bowl. I mean, it nearly happened 2 weeks ago, so we won't spend terrible much time on it. And then we'll finally get into some college basketball. With March Madness just around the corner, things are heating up, and there have been some really good games that have been happening, and I'm excited to talk about college basketball finally. So let's get right into it. So nearly 2 weeks ago, Super Bowl was played in New Orleans. Philadelphia Eagles played the Kansas City Chiefs, and, well, it was a blowout. I mean, it was disgusting how well the Eagles played and really limited the Chiefs in whatever they were trying to do. The defense was flying around the field, and the defensive line was getting so much pressure, wasn't really allowing Patrick Mahomes the time to really get anything off. So it was really, really fun game to watch. I mean, as an unbiased program here, fly, Eagles, fly, as I will say. Things were really interesting from the start. I think a couple weeks ago, my score prediction was just like 24-17. Boy, was I wrong. I really thought this was going to be a close game. I thought both defenses were going to play really well, and the Kansas City Chiefs defense really did play pretty well. I mean, the first half, they really only held them to, I think, 10 points just from the offense, or the Eagles' offense side. The other points were off turnovers and things like that. The Kansas City defense really didn't play that badly. It was just Kansas City's offense just couldn't get anything going. Patrick Mahomes turned the ball over 3 times during the game, 2 interceptions, and a sack fumble. And they were all just really, really good plays. I mean, the first interception was a pick six by Cooper DeJean. He read the play really well. Mahomes rolled out to the right and threw the ball, and DeJean read it and took it back to the house, and that really was a tone center. I mean, I think it was like 10-0 already. It made it 17-0. That would just really took the air out of the Chiefs. And then Zach Bond's interceptions, second one. Josh Sweat got pressure, drove the offensive line back into Patrick Mahomes. Mahomes couldn't step into the throw. The throw was weird, and great play by Zach Bond diving to make that interception. And then the sack fumble. Milton Williams getting pressure, coming in, and Mahomes was ready to heave that thing and got the ball stripped, and just a great play by Milton Williams. This was just a fun game to watch, man. I mean, they really keyed on Saquon Barkley, and that really didn't work out for them because Jalen Hurts played just a really good game. Threw for, I think, over 260 yards, to 2 touchdowns, and 1 pick that was interesting throw. I mean, he couldn't step into it. It was underthrown, but nothing you can really do about that. But yeah, just what a game to watch. And then the dagger, I think, was towards the end of the third quarter, where they just threw a 50-yard bomb to Devontae Smith. That was, yeah, that really did it. Ended up being 34-3 or nothing or something like that. But I mean, you want to talk about a revenge game? The Eagles certainly did that, and I mean, they deserved the Super Bowl every bit. They looked so good this year after their Week 5 bye. I mean, they were 2-2 coming out of it, and really struggling on defense, trying to get stuff going on offense, and then something just clicked, and I mean, they went on that streak, and it was, I mean, you can call it destiny or whatever, but yeah, the Eagles looked really well, and you could probably expect Kansas City to be back. I mean, it's Patrick Mahomes. They expect him to be great. I mean, they still have a lot of pieces on that team, and opportunity for them to grow and become good talents there. And then some other news coming out of Kansas City with Travis Kelce. Chiefs want him back, but only as like a kind of like as a role player, not being as involved. And Kelce is contemplating retirement, so whether he'll retire or come back to the Chiefs is just a little role player. Still have to find that out. But it'll be interesting to see what he decides, if he wants to come back and play ball or he wants to retire and spend some time with family and Taylor Swift, obviously. But yeah, we'll see where that goes. All right, so we're going to talk about some college ball here. First college ball talk of the year, and excited to get into it because March Madness is right around the corner, and what a time of year that is. Full of upsets and great games, and it's just so fun to watch. So recording this Thursday night. So we'll talk about Friday and Saturday games for this weekend. Not too many games going on tomorrow on Friday, but there are some good ones. 16th ranked Marquette is going on the road to play Villanova. Marquette is only a 1.5 point favorite, courtesy of FanDuel. That's a little surprising because Villanova really hasn't been that good this year. They've been really up and down. They have beat a couple good teams, but some really, really bad losses, and just really trying to find their way through the Big East, and trying to get into the tournament, which but it is surprising. Marquette's only a 1.5 point favorite. I mean, Marquette's also been pretty inconsistent recently. They have one guy who they really rely on to score. What was his name? I think it's Cam Jones. But outside of that, they really don't get anything going. And if Jones isn't hitting, then it's really hard for Marquette to win. So with that game being at Villanova, it'll be interesting to see where that goes. If Villanova can pull out an upset, and maybe that win will propel them into a win streak. So, but who knows? This will be a really good game. It's gonna be 14th ranked Michigan State at 12th ranked Michigan. In-state rivalry, Big Ten matchup, and Michigan is favored by 3.5. I mean, both these teams have been really unexpected this year. Michigan State came out on fire. They were undefeated in conference play, then came back down to earth, took a couple losses, but still looking really, really good. And probably one of the favorites to win the Big Ten and make a run into the tournament here. And then Michigan, with a first-year head coach, has looked really good, utilizing two monster big men and using them really well. They're producing and they're winning them games, which is clutch for Michigan. I'm not really sure anyone expected them to be this good this year. Definitely exceeding expectations, but looking really, really good for with a first-year head coach, and just seeing where they go from here to the Big Ten tournament to March Madness. I'm thinking for Michigan maybe I'd say a Sweet 16 run is in the cards for Michigan. Obviously it's March Madness, so you can't really predict anything, but I could see a Sweet 16 for Michigan coming in. Heading to the Saturday games, got a lot of good ones, a lot of ranked-unranked matchups that I'm going to talk about here. First one isn't a ranked-unranked one, but still should be a good one. It'd be number 3 Duke and Illinois playing. This will be at Madison Square Garden. Haven't been seeing any lines on FanDuel yet for these games on Saturday, but there should be a really interesting game. I mean, Duke is... I hate to say it because I really don't like Duke, but I can say that without Taters here. But Duke just looks really, really good this year. Probably the best or second best team in the whole NCAA this year. Cooper Flagg's a monster. Con Knippel's a monster. They just have really, really well-rounded guys on that team. And I'm sure Duke fans are thinking championship or bust this year, so we'll see how that goes in a tournament for them. But then this Illinois team has been pretty interesting. They started out pretty hot to start out the year, and then tapered off, lost a lot of games, and have been kind of streaky lately. But this team is still pretty good. They got a couple NBA talents on that roster, and they play hard. They play close games. It's just if they can win those games, and they really haven't been. So this will be a really interesting game between Duke and Illinois. But I think Duke has this one. It'll be an interesting game to watch here. Our next one be number 8 Iowa State at number 5 Houston. Big 12 matchup. Iowa State has been kind of suspect this year. A couple weeks ago they lost to Kansas State, who's one of the worst teams in the Big 12. And wasn't even a close game. Kansas State blew them out. So really how this plays out for Iowa State going into Big 12 tournament play and to March Madness, with how suspect they've been looking, I really don't know if they'll go that far, but willing to be surprised. And then Houston has looked pretty good. One of the best defensive teams in the NCAA. One of the most physical. They just play so physical. A couple of weeks ago, they lost Texas Tech in overtime. I think is it 1 overtime or 2 overtimes? I don't know, but that was a game. That was a really interesting game. That Texas Tech Houston won. Texas Tech lost 2 of their best players via ejection, and they lost a coach. No one would have thought they would have pulled that out, but they did. So that was a heartbreak for Houston, but they just look like a top 5 team. They really do, and high aspirations for them to make a Elite Eight, Final Four championship push this year. We go to the SEC next. Being number 6 Tennessee at number 7 Texas A&M. The SEC this year has been insane. Probably one of the best conferences in the NCAA this year for basketball. They just have so many loaded teams. Wouldn't be surprised if they get 12, 13 teams into the tournament this year. But Tennessee started out undefeated. They were ranked number 1, and then lost a couple games. It was more or less, people really didn't think Tennessee should be number 1. They were barely beating teams and to that undefeated record, then ended up catching up to them, losing a couple games. But this is still a pretty good Tennessee team. They're still good defensively. It's just, where do they get their scoring? So it'll be interesting to see where Tennessee goes. And then Texas A&M has been up and down this year. I think they were missing their best player, Wade Taylor, for a while there, and that hurt them. But they battled through that. I'm not sure if he's still hurt. If he's back, that'll help Texas A&M a lot. And where they go from here, I'm not too sure. I don't know. I think, it's hard to predict college basketball games, but I don't know if Texas A&M will make it that far. They really don't seem to be able to shoot the ball well. They chuck up a lot of threes. They miss a lot of threes. So where they get their scoring will be interesting, other than Wade Taylor. So 2 teams that don't really score the ball well. This will be probably a defensive game, so who knows how that will go. And then the last ranked unranked matchup of Saturday night will be number 17 Kentucky going to Alabama, number 4 Alabama. I'm expecting Alabama to win this one handily. Kentucky has really been struggling lately. They're missing one of their best players, Lamont Butler, for a while, and you could definitely tell they were missing him because he's their best defensive player, and after him, their defense just drops off a cliff, and you could definitely say that Arkansas came in to Kentucky and beat them. Coach Cal came in and beat Kentucky with Arkansas, and Lamont Butler was not playing, but Kentucky's just been really, really reeling and looking for answers on how to play good basketball. And Lamont Butler does help with that. But there's other issues going on there that I think are causing Kentucky a lot of issues. On the other hand, Alabama looking really good. Marcus Sears, top tier player, scoring the ball. Really just looking a lot better defensively this year. Last year they were great offensively but terrible defensively. And they ended up costing them in the March Madness. So we're interested to see where Alabama goes this year with that better defensive team and obviously the threat of their offense. Yeah. Those are the weekend games for this week. I'll go down. I don't think I said too much about who's going to win these, but I'll go down quick. Marquette at Villanova. I think Marquette's going to pull that one out. 1.5 is really small margin, but I think Marquette does get it done. Then Michigan State at Michigan. Man, this would be a tough one to predict. with it being at Michigan. I think Michigan will pull this one out. I think their bigs will get the job done. They'll have a massive night, and beat Michigan State. Duke versus Illinois. I think I did say that Duke will win this one handily. Yeah, Duke just looks really, really good this year, and Illinois has been kind of up and down recently, so I just think Duke will win this one handily. Iowa State at Houston. Yeah, with Iowa State just looking really suspect recently, and really just not looking too good. I think Houston will get this done. I mean, their defense and physicality is just a lot to handle, and I think that gets the job done for Houston. Tennessee at Texas A&M. I'm predicting this one will be a defensive battle. I mean, both these teams don't really shoot the ball that well, but I think Tennessee shoots the ball better, just a little bit more, and they will pull the dub out on this one. Then Kentucky at Alabama. Yeah, I don't think this is looking too good for Kentucky. I think Alabama will handle this one easily. Just with that offensive power for Alabama, and with just how not that good Kentucky's been looking recently. I just think Kentucky just loses their way here, or they have lost their way, but lose it even more, and just, yeah, Alabama gets an easy win here. Alright, so that'll be it for tonight. Just a shorter episode. A lot of talking for just me. So tune in next time. Hopefully Taters will be here, and we'll discuss more college basketball. We'll discuss some other things. Got good content coming up. We got NFL draft will be a couple months away, and obviously March Madness. So stick around for those episodes, and we'll see you around.